Evolution of a Trader, episode 30. Today, I decided to wait a little bit, see if there's any action towards the end of the day, because earlier in the week, we were getting like midday, second half of the day runs. And looks like I did end up missing them a little bit. Looks like they started around 10, but it's all good. I started off with PLAG, and, as per my rules, finding that support and resistance, and then waiting absolutely for a dip. So you saw on that one, it jumped up a little bit, but then I waited till it dropped back down. And even then, the trend a little bit was already going up. I should have got it couple candles earlier. That first to last big hammer, or the larger red candle right next to it. So I ended up, and then also I should have known, just looking at that nasty little candle that I bought into, that it was going to do what it's about to do right now. And so, I saw it happening, so I just got out. Could have got out quicker, but whatever. So yeah, I took a little loss on that one, which is whatever. I made a little bit of a mistake, but immediately recognized it and started waiting. Recalibrated, and then saw another entry forming. I saw the higher lows. I saw this was on a continuous uptrend, and then I was seeing moves like this. And I'm getting better at being aware of that emotion of like, oh shit, that was a giant green candle, 20-cent green candle, like it's going up, get in. And I'm very aware of that and getting out as soon as I can. Or I'm sorry, I misspoke. Not getting out as soon as I can, but not acting on that emotion and waiting for my entries. That being said, still didn't get the best entry on this one. I just saw that it was kind of holding up in that range. So I thought that getting in where I got in would have been the best move. And then that wasn't the case, so I immediately got out. I guess not immediately, but I did end up monitoring it a little bit because I had that in my head and was just a little bit more cautious than I was in that previous trade, because I knew that in hindsight, like reflecting back on that trade, I knew that it wasn't the best entry and I should have got out a little bit earlier than I should have got out. And I could have potentially got out with a small green trade. One thing that I've been working on, or that I just found out about and have been focusing on the past couple of days, is, and it sounds stupid, but I was doing some research on support and resistance levels, and just kind of got just another level of the support and resistance is matching up to find like the most accurate and the most significant support and resistance is matching it with the volume candles. And you can see not right at 605, those two little, what is it, dojis, the two little dojis right there that hit 605. They are identical in volume and almost identical in shape. What I miss about, since I'm paper trading, I can't use or Sure Trader, unfortunately. But what I do miss about them is the option to split the volume bar in. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let me talk about this trade really quick. So this is another one where I just saw the resistance, that bounce. I saw. Just trying to remember back on this one. I just saw a similar pattern forming as a couple of the other like 5-10 minute time frames, and the candles previous before this just showed some strength, and the level 2 was kind of going up and down a little bit, but yeah, generally I just saw some, I don't know, sometimes it's hard to explain the feeling. I know a lot of people say you develop the intuition over time, and then you start taking the data that you receive and analyzing it in a way that almost becomes intuitive, or is pretty much the same like effect as intuition. But yeah, that's what kind of happened with this one. I just saw what was happening. It was sitting on that resistance around like 835, and I set my stop at 8.2. As you can see, those candles constantly resisting that, or supporting at that level. Yeah, I just saw support. I just saw buyers coming in. I saw it was a huge runner on the day. And a lot of times those huge runners get a late afternoon spike, especially when they don't just completely sell off. And I saw that happening with this one. It would kind of drop down a little bit, then trend up just a tiny bit, and then spring up. And I guess, when I break it down deeper, that's what I was seeing. And right here is where I saw that spring action happening. And then I sold out pretty soon here. But yeah, that's where the intuitive thing I was referring to earlier happens. It happens in like a blink, and you almost don't think about it deep or thoroughly enough or something. Maybe that's not the right word. You don't think about it as verbally enough, as much in your head. So yeah, and then I just sold at the VWAP resistance because I wasn't looking for anything. And then this is the second one. I was waiting a little bit to see what happened with this guy, and just saw this big fat break drop right here. And again, going back to that awareness of my emotions, I wanted to get in at like 820 because it was a drop. And I was like, no, you idiot, just wait until it goes lower because this thing looks like it's fucking dropping. And then once it got down to 8 was when I was like, okay, this is a whole dollar. I see it already just dropped 50 cents. Let's hop in. And sure enough, these are the plays that I like taking. These are the plays that I've been building my strategy around, and all my failure that I've undergone in these past, I don't know, longer than I want, this past year, 2 years, is all a result of me not following these plans and letting those emotions consume me. So that's a huge thing that I'm checking out right now. One last thing that happened was I was trying to set up these hotkeys. You see, I got a shitty fill right there on the sale. But I was setting up my hotkeys last night, and I just completely forgot what I meant to sell at the ask, and I ended up selling at the bid. But all good. Still ended up green on the day.